Hey guys, Jake here from Pear Tree Ranch, and we've got Romeo. Romeo belongs to a good friend of ours, Cornelia and Jacob Fletcher, and Cornelia doesn't just compete at a high level of eventing, she wins the high level eventing. She won the 4-star at Terra Nova, right, at the end of the year, so she kicks a lot of behind. Now, this horse has been trailering out. We're transitioning from the show jumping into the eventing, but they've been having trouble with rearing, pulling back, and fighting when it comes to trailer loading. And so we've been waiting since the end of summer, early fall, to get him here, just for it to work out with the schedule for Cornelia. They kind of finish up their eventing season. And now that we're in that little bit of an off season, she's able to get him over here for some help. So I've not touched this horse other than we just switched the halter. I'm on a 22-foot rope to be able to give some drift. And I'm going to go with the long stick to be able to work at some distance. And the biggest reason I want to work at some distance is if we get into pulling back and fussing and fighting, that can turn into lunging, rearing, striking, bad stuff. And so to just make sure that I'm set up to give him more drift, not too tight of boundaries, which is what can get us in trouble with the pulling back and the rearing and the trouble at trailer loading, I cannot trigger some of that by the choice of tools, and also then in the round pen. So what we're going to do before we ever go to the trailer is establish some groundwork. And so we're just going to do a little bit of getting to know you. Sorry to interrupt your video, but really quick, we want to make sure that you know all the juicy content, step-by-step how-to training guides, that's over on Patreon. So if you want, there's a 4-part trailer loading video series, that's on Patreon. You want the 7-part lead chain series, that's on Patreon. So get over there, get signed up, join us there, and let's get back to this video. And so we're going to think about forwards, backwards, right, left, up, down, stand still with the nose, neck, shoulder, ribs, and hip. At a walk, a trot, a canter, a gallop, and a backup. And so we can see right away we're ready to go somewhere, which is good. But we also have plenty of confidence enough to roll. And without knowing this horse, I need to do plenty of listening and watching to where's the horse at, so we can make sure we start there. Now, we also can get a lot of rearing, pulling back, and fighting and fussing when we don't have good control with the halter in the lead. And so when we got here, and again, this was, he didn't just get here. You kind of got the chain on the nose and we're prepped for some of that fighting stuff. And so that just kind of, again, I've seen a little bit of footage. It can be pretty good little fight there. And so we want to get this control started. And we need to have yielding, not just control. Control is stop, shut up, do what you're effing told right effing now, for safety's sake. There we go, that's what we're kind of looking for. And so I'll just readjust. And all I'm saying is, whoa, dang it, can I interrupt your pattern? This will start to tell me where are we at, and if I go to the trailer and I can't softly and easily interrupt the pattern, I can't help the horse with a conversation about the trailer. So we'll get back to going. I'm going to set up over here so it's easier for the camera, and as I step in front, that got a lot easier to, there, a little lick and chew, to have some control. Horse was more thoughtful about Man, I really got to pay attention to what's going on here. Hi. I like to look. That's curiosity starting. Again, I'll set up over here just so it's easier for the camera to see. Notice that way we don't think, we just react and go the other way. So now this horse needs to learn some burpees. There we go. And I can use the stick to help that. Because see, we didn't stop, we just pulled away. We just pulled away. And without the fence there and without the long rope, that doesn't work. Okay, so some of the facilities helps us with getting that to work. So we could consider drawing the parallel toe. A lot of times we get led on the left, and so we have a little more resistance on that side, which just could mean, well, we've gotten away with, it's not the best phrase, but it's kind of makes sense with being resistant there and leaning. There. So instead of giving the horse lots of time to see it, I did a little bit of a sneak attack. Just to see what's going to happen if we say, oh no, now. So notice I'm not really using the rope to do much. This is somewhat how I might work a horse at liberty the first time, just get going and woeing and then turning working. And so then the rope just helps control if we get that turning away, and that keeps this horse from having to do a lot extra. Because see, I'd have to fix that at liberty, which can take some time, which is fine, but we're gonna look for better. It's better that the horse turns in there. I'm keeping the rope taut to help draw the nose back where it came from. And see, with the round pen, I never lose my position. I can always stay there in front of them. Aha, that time was different. So when I got snappy about back up, okay, so we'll get everything ready and back up, back up, back up, back up. I'm saying it snappy now versus da 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 da. Okay, that was slower and smoother. That's kind of how we would put pressure in a teaching stage. Versus in a control stage, shoom, now. Okay. Hi. See, now we're getting prepared for slowing down and stopping. He's like, I see you angling for that position over there. I think I'm gonna just stop instead of running myself into that. Hi. So we have the attention now. By working that stop and back and get them where they're turning in consistently, a lot of times, again, even on a fresh start, I'll do that just to catch the attention, the mind, the nose, same thing. There we go. So watch, as I start to angle over here, see him look, he didn't run into the fence, I had the attention, I caught the attention and the rope was on the ground the whole time. Not over there. Back up. Back up. Notice how the nose flips. That will change to being able to herd the nose down. There was a little bit. There was a better one. There's a better one. There's a change. And a lick and a chew. Which just means we kind of switched from being reactive to more thoughtful. I like the back up. There's a change with the nose. There's a nice change with the nose. There's a little change. There, we're starting to flinch our nose more down. What's that girl doing with that camera? Good boy. Romeo. Now, he's not a young horse. He's not an old horse. He said he's going to be 8 this year. Okay, so my saying is young enough to be worth something, but old enough to know better. People ask me, how old's that horse? Young enough to be worth something, old enough to know better. There we go. There we go. So herding that nose back and in. Or back and up. Okay, so when I talk about 8 directions, back and up look the same with the nose and the neck. There we go. There we go. Well, we want to be able to be friendly with our tools as well as yield the horse with our tools. So we'll just, now that we have some control for safety's sake, do a little time rubbing. Now to say, hey, Simon didn't say go. Simon didn't say go. Simon didn't say go. Simon didn't say go. There we go. Good job. There's curiosity. Okay. So now we'll come back to some herding, and now there's a little bit of pressure. The horse is like, oh, come by you? That's a great idea. Hi. So instead of the stick meaning run away, it's just meaning move your feet over. Ooh, good boy. You're a good boy. Hi, hi. Oh, you're so handsome. So can you go? But see, go and leave, two different things. Just go. Just scooch over. Look, the rope's not having to come off the ground. And if I feel like I wanted him to come back, maybe I could just say, hey, Simon didn't say leave. There. Hi. Now the tools, instead of meaning run away, be bothered, or scared, are building more connection. And we have a touch of each direction. Go and whoa. We can exaggerate the whoa by having some backup. We have turning. You'd exaggerate the go, and I like that the horse got ready to whoa on its own. There. So exaggerate the go. So now we have a little bit of control and conversational skills. Now, the one skill that I think, if I was going to pick, would need to be better to save my bacon if we get in trouble when we step out of the round pen to go by the trailer would be these burpees, because we can get a lot of brace still in this neck. And so if the horse spins the wrong way, when I pull on that rope, I'd like it to bring the nose back to me a bit better. So I like that it drew the horse backwards. And I'm pushing here to build a little bit of opportunity for brace to happen, just so that I can say, hey, I could control you. Okay, don't make me control you, because I can if you make me. See, it didn't take much, and the horse was like, yeah, I really don't want you to control me. How we talking? Fabulous. There. And right when that nose gets straight away from me, I can give it a little pull. And it pulled it back to me. I shouldn't pull on them, but in an emergency situation, it's real easy for us humans to get to pulling. So when I pull on that here and the neck is straight, I'd like it to cause at least backing. So that way they don't just run forward and plow their face through the halter. Hi, you're a good horse. Hi. Good job. You guys done this with him before? You seen Cornelia do it? It's a move I have taught her. I've trained a few horses with those guys and helped, so it's something that she's aware of. But I wouldn't be surprised. So it just kind of tells, oh, smart horse. Good. Okay. So now that we have some control, I want to go hang out by the trailer. So we're just going to reposition it so we have a little more room from the fence, and we will meet you guys out by the trailer. Okay, so we have pulled up the trailer. We're on this kind of nice dirt patch. This round pen's right there. The pole is here, and that is strategical. So in case he gets to pulling, I don't have to be strong. I can just use the rope and kind of take a wrap there and let him pull on that. Now, this kind of a trailer, why don't you come up here, Bray Bray, and we'll take a peek inside. So we have a side load where the horse has to walk in. Okay, walk up in here and so we can see. Nice, beautiful trailer, but we have to be able to back into that stall. Okay, so right now, I'm just gonna make sure everything's kind of clear here. And I want to just hang out. Okay. And if I kind of hang out and give this trailer the kind of dad treatment, that's a nice trailer you got here. Look at that. Lever action, who knew? It's even got windows. You did good for yourself, kid. Good job. Okay. Like the overprotective dad, checking everything out, kicking the tires, investigating. And by thinking about the trailer, not the horse, it takes the pressure off the horse. A lot of times when we get the horse by the trailer, we make the trailer pressure, and then the horse doesn't want to go in there. But if I can just hang out here, la-ti-da, let him get curious, on top of, did I have a good little warm-up to prepare to go in the trailer? We start getting relaxation around the trailer. Now, obviously, they had a trailer over to my house, so the horse gets in the trailer, okay? It's a functional thing, but it Cornelia shared with me, it's getting worse. They're trying to trailer out and train and show and compete, and they do so, again, at a high level. Cornelia and Jacob, they're fantastic. And so if we can just help support and have this feel a little better, start to put in a little bit of a little more groundwork and understanding of the tools, we can have a little easier conversation with this horse if he does want to have a problem or a bother one day. By just hanging out and allowing him to show me when he's ready, so he's shown us that he's ready to think about the trailer. He did that by putting his nose on it, okay? And he's checking out the far side, and then we're kind of back over here, okay? By moving over here, we're technically out of position to get in. We want to be mindful of, if I just start to have some boundaries where it's hard for the horse to be everywhere but in position to get in, that technically is the same as saying, make it easy for the horse to get loaded. So if I put a little pressure over there, and if I just put a little pressure over there, notice there's no pressure in the middle. Now, to make it easier, again, we did a lot of work on our herding with the stick because we are still quite heavy on this rope. Okay, I didn't magically in a few minutes fix that. But I can have that with this longer stick, have that pressure be out there and release the horse back towards the trailer. And I'm not saying get in, I'm just saying there's hot lava out there. Ah, lava! Oh no. The dirt is lava. There. So now the horse's answer to, well, if there's lava out there, maybe I need to be more interested in the trailer. Okay, so we release to that. However, we need to start to tighten this boundary and get to where we have a funnel effect, controlling rights and lefts, till we get in position to where we could load. Now again, he kind of keeps wanting to step from that side. I'm not going to argue, I'm going to listen and make it easy for him to step in here. Now, if you can see, he perfectly has stepped into position to then back in. So I'm listening to the horse going, you are so smart. You know what to do. Holy cow. I didn't even know a horse could be so smart. Instead of try to tell him to do anything different than what he's meant to be doing. Okay. And this again just shows he knows what's happening. He knows where to go. He just maybe wants to try something different. And so we allowed him to try something different, but by one, having a little longer lead rope. Two, the rope halter's thin to win versus the web halter, which can be easier for them to lean on. The chain can cause more pain than it does a change in the horse, and so that can sometimes make the fight worse. So we got to be mindful of that tool. And then by having a long stick where I just allowed the rope to work and shushed from farther out there, it brought the horse to me. And I made sure that was going to work in the round pen with the previous work. Okay? All right. Now, once could just be lucky. 2 and 3 times is starting to be pretty good. I heard it once said that if you could load a horse 5 times in a row when you ask and not have any resistance, that you've probably fixed it. Now, I'm not promising anything that we could get that today. That might take weeks, months, who knows, okay? But I want us to look at the idea of, if I do reps of practice of getting on and off, to where I continue to make it easy for him, where maybe we don't necessarily have to go anywhere, that we just get on and hang out. We're just here. That really can make our lives easy. All right. So now we'll allow him back out. I wouldn't encourage hurrying, and I wouldn't create hurrying by using a lot of pressure. I want this to stay la-di-da. And again, by slipping all of that rope and allowing him to get caught slowly, so I didn't snatch him or grab him. Hey there, big horse, get back. Give him that stuff. What? You don't want to come in this trailer, do you? No. I wouldn't do that if I were you. That's a horrible idea. Okay, so now he's asking to get in. And when we can set the stage by doing that little bit of groundwork, getting that connection started off right, and then hanging out here, we saw, if you were to roll the tape back, he was pawing over here. He was kind of out of position to get in. Technically, he was in position to head towards his stall, so I can acknowledge that he was lining himself up for where he's meant to go. But to just softly create some boundaries till, I see you, I'll cuddle you, I'll cuddle you, till we can release him to come in here. Now it's made his life easier, and the trailer and the loading process wasn't pressure, it was the release. Now, we didn't do the 5 in a row, but I'm going to quit there because I love how he said, hey, why am I back out here? Let me back in there. Why are you in there? And I want that to just be the idea. Okay, and hopefully you could see I don't anticipate any trouble if I were to try to unload and reload him 2 more times, because we haven't even had to shake the stick at him the last few times. All we did is just get out of the way. Okay, hope you learned a little bit of something about trailer loading. I know he didn't make it look all that difficult. I do have, we'll have hopefully rolled in footage for you to see that Cornelia has sent of him rearing and fussing, so that I could see kind of what we were going to be dealing with. And I'm not too upset that he didn't do any of that today. All right, I'm Jake, this is Romeo. We're at Pear Tree Ranch, and we'll see you next time.